Hi everyone and welcome to the video as part of the Microsoft Copilot Studio in a Day workshop. My name is Craig Kreskis. This video number 11, is titled Returning a List of Results from Dataverse. In this lab, you'll use Dataverse and the connector in Power Automate to search for accounts. Then you'll return a list of results that includes the account name, the city, and account number into a Microsoft Copilot Studio. Now we'll do a little bit of setup in the Power Platform Admin Center, just to give you kind of a sense and making sure everything is all set up correctly. But as we've done in all the videos, just to give you kind of a guideline as to where you're going to go in this lab, the first thing you're going to do is set up a Dataverse table. You'll create a new topic, create a new flow, and call the flow. Now, I've only got 4 steps here, but this is going to be a lot more complex in terms of completion. You can see on the lab how long the suggested time it might take. So let's get started. And again, hopefully this video helps to accelerate your learning and guide you through the printed labs. Let's start by enabling Dataverse search. So again, I mentioned you're going to want to visit the admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com because we want to go into our environments and select on environment. Choose the environment that you're using. In this case here, this is the one I have been using for this workshop, for these videos. I'll choose on to the settings, under product and under features. Just make sure this is enabled because this is going to be paramount to the success in terms of returning the results for you in the lab. Now let's go ahead and set up a Dataverse account table. Now the account table is a standard table that's included automatically in Power Platform environments. However, some of them, and in my case it's a little bit different, but in some of your accounts, they may not have account data. And so before you get down into the workshop, you want to make sure you're going to get some results. So I'll show you how to set that up. Again, we've done this in some of the other prior labs. Please make sure you're in the correct environment. There's nothing more frustrating as an attendee, for myself included, as I've done all the work and then I'm not getting the results. So make sure you're in the same environment you've been building your Copilot Studio. On the left, you'll select tables. And here on the account table, you'll hit edit and then edit again. And let's go ahead and open up a few more of the columns. As you see in the labs there, I want to have account number on display. So we're basically going to do the account name, the city, and account number. And again, notice I've got some data, some previous work I've been doing in workshops and videos. But just to make sure you get some data, you'll see on your labs, you want to add Contoso Inc., Contoso Residences, easier to say, and meal delivery. You put in the cities and then the account number. So that's the first step. Now let's go back into Copilot Studio and we're going to create a topic. So I'm in my customer service Copilot and I'll select on topics. I'm going to add a topic from blank. And I've got my generational AI turned on, unlike I did in some of the previous videos. And so here, again, nice thing is I can go ahead and put in a description to describe what the topic is going to do. So in this case here, we're going to search the list of accounts or customers using a keyword entered by user. I'll send a message to prompt the user to say, hey, sounds like you're looking for an account. And then we'll ask a question. The question is, what's the name of the customer that you're looking for? And so then I'm going to be prompted by the organization. And just like we've done before on the variable, on the var1 properties, because I want to save that user response, you need to have that as a naming convention. So we call it organization. Oh, and don't forget to name your Copilot. I almost forgot here. So it's called account search. Again, make sure you name your topic. And I always get in the habit of saving my work so I don't lose anything that I've been building upon. We've created a topic. Now let's go ahead and create a flow. And you've done this before. In the node, I'm going to hit call an action. And we'll create a flow. Of course, good procedures to rename everything. In this case here, the flow is going to be called search account. Select on the first tile. And it says when I call a flow, Again, we've done this before. I need to input, and then of course we'll do output. In the text, I want to go ahead and say organization. And now I'm going to add an action. And you're looking for Dataverse. So I've got this, the one on the right column here, Dataverse. And if you scroll down, again, you can see all of the capabilities here as part of that connector. We're going to use the search rows. Like I did with the weather lab, when we called something in Flow, I just need to make that single sign-on connection. And then in the search terms, you're going to go ahead and grab here, and we'll select on organization. And then we're going to filter on table, and then we're going to perform a sort by. So go ahead and close that out. And then you're going to filter on the account, and then you're going to sort by the name ascending. Right, now we've got that. Let's go ahead and format the results below your search results. So after I get the results from Dataverse, I want to format that. I'm going to add an action and type in JSON. You're looking for the data operation where I'm going to parse JSON. I'm going to go ahead and select here the list of rows. And in your workshop, on your PDF or in the Word doc that you were given as part of the labs, in Lab 11, my suggestion is to copy the JSON schema and paste it here into the schema box. Makes it a lot easier. And now you can see I'm going to go insert another action below that. We'll type in variable, and I'm looking for the initialized variable. I'll enter in the variable name, again, list of accounts, and we'll change the type from Boolean to string. I'll insert another node. In this case, again, I'm adding an action. And I'm going to search for more under control because I want this applied to each. Select an output from the previous steps. We'll use the search, and I'm looking for the body. Now, one thing just to make sure is when you insert, make sure in the labs it says to insert, it's inside or nested here into the apply to each. Do not use the insert node below, as you will get an error message. So make sure, again, you're inside of the apply to each. I'll add an action. Type in variable. Same thing, see more. We're going to append to string variable. Choose that list of accounts, and then enter in your values. So again, you're looking for the items, the account number, and name. Next, I'm going to highlight the bottom tile, the return the value back to the agent. I'm going to add an output, type in the text, and it's the found account. So it's receiving the results and how I'm going to present it back to the end user. I'll go ahead and browse out, and under variables, I'm looking for that list of accounts. So again, there's a lot of mechanics in there. Make sure you save your work. And now the next thing is, the last part is to call the flow. So again, hopefully that video gave you just some prescriptive guidance on where to click to avoid any potential errors in setting this up. Let's call the flow. So I'm back inside of Customer Service Copilot. And at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and insert the node. I'm going to call an action. And remember, we called this search account. And then you need to just simply put in the correct field here for organization. I'm going to go ahead and send a message and let the user know this is what I found. Insert the variable for your found accounts. And then I hit save. I'll come back to my Copilot. And then again, the last step is just to test your Copilot. So here I am going to go ahead and test. I'm going to ask the question, search account, hit enter. Notice it says everything, the message that I put in there. And then I'm going to say, give me Contoso. And notice it says, okay, this is what I found. It gave me the account number, the name, and the city. Now, again, don't mind my sample data. I've got a little bit more information from some other labs that I've been working on here. But essentially, these are the results you're going to get. You should at least get the 3. And again, in this video, we talked about how you set up a Dataverse table. We created a new topic. We worked inside of Power Automate to create a flow. And then we called that flow inside of Copilot Studio. I want to say thank you so much for your time and attention on this video titled Returning a List of Results from Dataverse. My name is Craig, and I look forward to seeing you again on a video real soon.